Hello, so continue the metal cube. Okay, now I want to deal with this thickness over here. And you see that I previously already have a thickness layer, but I didn't deal with this portion over here. Big reason is that I want to create a screw first, and then I'll add the thickness in front, and then also these two thickness is very close to each other, so I want to do that on a different layer. This is just the way I organize my layers lah. Obviously, you can have your own method as well, but I hope you will learn something from the way I organize my layers. So there has to be some kind of logic lah when you do your own painting. Right, so now I'll add the thickness for top part as I mentioned. So I'm just adding a flat color first, and then yes, so it's really very close to the previous thickness layer. So it's good that I have it on two different layers, so at least I have the control over it. Okay, so I'll delete over this part. So when I delete this part, the bottom part is not really affected, and I can just move this individually also. Okay, so I have control over the bottom thickness and the top thickness. Okay, as for this bottom part, I believe if I want to adjust the colors below, I should use the hose. Okay, I guess I'll just use the hose layer to fill up this hole here. Okay, the hole might be a bit too big. Later I'll adjust the thickness layer again. Thickness layer. Let's do a marquee 2 here. I think that's fine. Now move it out a bit. Haha. Oh, not so good. Okay, I'll move it up like this. So after I use marquee, I want to smudge a bit in case I created more artifacts that I didn't know. So just be a bit careful about where I use my marquee. We have a lot of control, but we need to know when we control them, we need to be careful. Okay, go back to the hose layer, adjust this hole here. It's okay. I think the rest I'll just deal with it in when I flatten the layers eventually. Yep. Okay, back to the top thickness layer. Not so thick actually. Delete some of this off. And start to add the toner values, dodging. Keep this edge straight and sharp. Fine edge. Fine edge. Keep a straight line down. So the corners I want to keep it sharp. cutting it a bit thinner. Okay, so done with the top thickness also. Bottom part might be a bit too bright, so I'm crushing it down again. Okay, the holes inside, maybe I want to start to make the holes inside a bit darker. Just have something like a gradient inside. Okay. Okay, there's this area of orange, almost like rust. Oh, so I want to start adding them. Oh, so you need to be able to see the colors I pick up. So these are some areas of orange. So I'll call this like rust. So I'll just pick a orange. I'll make it a bit brighter. So later I'll put the opacity down. I want it to be more saturated to begin with. So actually I'll just make more first. So I'll put in excessive. Make a bit extra ones. And I'll erase them later. Okay, so I did have quite a bit. I'll push this opacity down a bit. Okay, maybe like 50%. And what I'm gonna do is I'll create a layer mask for it. Oh, so with a layer mask, what it does is that I have this masking, so I can do my erasing on this mask. But instead of using erasing, I'll try to find a nice brush also. I'm thinking I'll use this brush here, my fourth brush. Oh, so I can have some pattern like this. So if I were to use black color on my layer mask, and I have a brush that is some kind of texture, I will be able to erase off and get some textured effect. Oh, so I will start to do that a bit now. This one should be below screws. Oh, so put them below the screws and make sure I'm on rust there. Erase off, erase, keep some, delete some. And the cool thing is you can bring it back. So if I were to invert this, now I'm using white and I'm on the layer mask. Oh, I can bring back some lines if I want to. So I can erase and I can bring back. So I press X on my keyboard. I can switch between black and white. X for X-ray. Okay, so I switch here, switch there, switch everywhere. We'll try to get something organic. Maybe not too much also. I'll use opacity of 50%. So you can make some parts have thick rust and then bring some back. Delete some. Change the brush size, thick and small. And for first pass is not bad. We can add another pass on top of it, and then it will look very decent. Press X, switch, X. X, X, erase, bring back, erase, bring back. Okay, for the top part, maybe I just want to do a rough one because the top part needs to be darker before I can see all these nice details. So yeah, it's very rough for now. Don't think I need to worry too much right now. Can add a bit more orange back. So if I want to add orange, I go back to this layer. So it'll start painting again. And of course now is the mask is still working on it, so it might not be exactly where you want to paint. Really depends. Just keep in mind your mask is still working, so okay. I think for now like this is not bad. Take the opacity down again. Maybe I'll do 50 opacity, 50 fill. Yep, for now that's okay. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.